I asked all of you what tutorials you wanted to see, and you said you wanted some celebrity looks. So I found this one of Gigi Hadid at the Met Gala. She looked absolutely exquisite. I loved this makeup look because it was very chic, but it was still very glamorous. It kind of reminded me of the early 2000s, which you all know I love. So this is the look that we created together. So if you want to learn how to do Gigi Hadid's makeup from the Met Gala, pull out your makeup goodies and let's talk this through together. So to start off the look, we're gonna prime the face. I'm using the Maybelline Blur Stick because it's a mattifying primer. I'm just gonna put it here on the T-zone, like next to my nose, center of my forehead. I am not chic at how I apply this. I literally just rub it onto the face, and then I take a foundation brush and just buff it in. And I'm not gonna apply this all over the face because the foundation I have, it's the Dior Total one. It's a really dewy foundation. I want it to be dewy out here, but not necessarily in the center of my face where I get oily. And I'm gonna mattify the lids too, so I put just a little bit of primer here. Now we're gonna cover these dark circles that are barking, woof woof. I'm gonna take the Bobbi Brown concealer stick. This is the color Dark Peach. It's gonna look crazy, I know. I like to apply a darker peach concealer here because I'm gonna put foundation on top. I really just want to counteract the blueness going on under the eyes. Then take a concealer brush and just blend it out. I know it's looking orange and crazy. Give me a minute, give me a minute. Now I'm gonna take my foundation, the Dior Capture Total. This is a new foundation for me. I've had it for a few weeks. It is beautiful, very dewy, looks gorgeous. It's gonna give me that effect that Gigi has here, which is just very light, dewy finish. Put a pump on the brush, and I'm just gonna buff this into the skin. And I know this foundation's a little light for me right now, but by the time I add my bronzer and everything else, it's gonna warm it up quite a bit. But I want you all to see the finish of this. Like, look how gorgeous of a glow that gives. It's so beautiful. Now, because this is an evening look, I want a little bit more coverage in here where I have some redness and some pores going on. Plus, I want to mattify it even a little bit more. So I'm going to take a matte foundation. I'm using the Milani Conceal and Perfect. What I like to do is put just a pump on my hand, and then I take a beauty blender or sponge, and I just put it here next to the side of my nose where I want a little bit more coverage. It's almost like I'm using this as a concealer to brighten the face, add another layer of coverage. And because it's a matte finish, it's gonna balance out the dewiness of that other foundation. And I'm only gonna apply this in the center of my face. I'm not gonna apply it all over because then that kind of gets rid of that dewy effect. So just in the T-zone. And I like to come out here just a touch, just like that. The setting powder I'm really loving right now is the One Size Beauty one. It's so finely milled. It gives a beautiful finish to the skin. It lasts all night, so it's really great for nighttime makeup that you need to last for many hours. I take these sponges that I got off of Amazon. Super inexpensive, you all. List them below in the description box. Okay, so I pour some in the lid. I put it on the sponge. I kind of dust some of it off. I don't want a ton on here. I just want the slightest bit of powder, just enough to set everything and kind of mattify just in the center of the face. Put some on the eyelids. That's gonna help that eyeshadow blend out easier. Center of the forehead and the chin. Don't put it all over the face, you all. It's gonna get rid of that dewiness that we want. Now, before I do the rest of the face, what I like to do is always prep my lips with either an oil or a lip balm. I'm gonna take the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, and I'm just gonna put a light layer of that on my lips. So I just kind of take a bit on my fingernail, rub it in, and this gives my lips a chance to really hydrate. So when I do the lip color, it's nice and smooth. Now, from Gigi's look, it seems like she's not doing a strong contour. It's maybe just a little bit back here. So I'm gonna put some contour back here. I'm gonna use a cream. I'm using the Colored Rain Skin Sticks. These are new, you all. The formula is absolutely beautiful. They're foundation sticks. So you can wear it as a foundation. You can use it as a cream contour. I got a color that's quite a few shades darker than me. This is number 640N. So that's the color. Obviously, that's way too dark for me, but I wear it as a contour. And then I have lighter shades that I wear as foundations or just bronzers and things like that. So I'm gonna use this to contour, and I'm using an angled kind of brush like this. I'm gonna pick it up on the brush and just tap it back here, just like that. I'm not gonna come too far down because she doesn't have a really strong contour. It's just the slightest bit. Wipe off that brush, and then we're going to buff it upwards. Kind of tap it out like this, just for the slightest bit of contour. And then if you feel like it's too strong, like in here it's looking a little bit dark, then I can go in with a different brush that's dry, like a different foundation brush, and I can just pat over it just to soften it. See how it gives me just a little bit of definition versus this side? And then because I like a chiseled jawline, I'm gonna contour the neck with this. So I always do this step. I draw a line under there and it's automatically gonna give me that chiseled jawline that I want. And I take that same brush and I just buff it out and then start blending it down. Now her blush is really soft. It looks like a very soft peachy pink color. So I'm gonna use the Jouer Rose Gold Duo and I'm gonna take this side. Sorry, it is beat to hell, you guys. I have used this a lot over the years. It's still kicking, I'm still using it. I'm gonna take a dome brush like this and pick it up on this side and just tap it on just for the lightest hint of color. And it looks like she brings the color in towards the nose a bit, just for a really soft, youthful glow. Now I'd like just a little bit more dewiness onto the skin because it looks like she has some more dewiness on the cheeks. So I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty Liquid Kilowatt. This is the color Hustla Baby. Okay, I put a dot on the back of my hand. I'm gonna apply this with my fingers. So I usually rub it into the back of my hand and just take 2 fingers and really tap it on there. And then I just gently tap it on. Don't swipe it, just tap it because we don't want to pick up the blush or foundation underneath. Do you hear that tapping? That's what we want. I'm too sexy for this tape, too sexy for this tape. All right, let's do my favorite part, the eyes. I have 2 pieces of Scotch tape. I'm gonna put them on the back of my hand and pull them off so they're not too sticky. And we're going to do a pretty dramatic angle because it looks like her eyeliner is coming out pretty far out. So I'm gonna line this up about like that. Can you all see that angle? So it's coming out kind of straight. Okay, I'm going in with the Natasha Denona Glam palette. This is a great cool tone palette. If you like cool tones, this is your girl. I'm gonna take a really soft dome brush like this. And I'm going in with this kind of grayish color. If you have deeper skin, I would go in with this color here, but you want something cool toned and gray, a little bit darker than your skin. And we're just gonna put this up here in the crease. And hers comes all the way in. So it's up to you if you wanna adjust this to fit your eye shape. If you feel like your eyes are close together, or maybe you're a little bit tired, don't feel like you have to bring it all the way in. So I'm just going to bluff it up. Did I say bluff it out? Bluff it out like that. This is what happens when I don't get coffee. I'm drinking green tea because I'm trying to be healthy today and I really want coffee instead.
As in, I really need coffee, coffee, coffee.
Oh my gosh. Do you see that soft shape that we're getting? Now, because there's a harsh line up here, because I'm looking at her picture here, I have to keep referring to it. I'm like, I want to make sure I get it right. It's very softly blended up here. I'm going to wipe off the brush and go in with the color Blend, which is a nice kind of transition color. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that and come up here. And that's going to help get rid of that harsh line up there. Come up to the brow bone, bad to the bone, bad to the bone. Did anyone watch that show? Am I aging myself right now? Now it's time to pop a silver on the lid. So I'm going to go in with this color. If you have deeper skin, I would go with the more gunmetal color. And I'm taking just a flat brush like this. We're just going to pack it on. And then I'll show you what we'll do next to really make it pop. So I'm literally just patting this on the lid. Really easy. It's been a minute since I've done such a cool tone look, you all. Usually I do the warm. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone right now, applying such grays and silvers. I'm not going to lie right now. Okay, now it looks like Gigi's lid is actually a silver glitter. So I like to take any sort of pigment glitter that you have. Do not judge me, you guys, because these are really old. I don't even know if they sell these anymore. Do you remember Pat McGrath having these little discs with the different colors? It's the only silver glitter I could find. Don't judge me. It still looks good. I inspected it to make sure it was safe, but what I'm going to do is just take a finger, and the reason why I want to use it, because look at that shine. So whatever you guys have in your collection that's got this silver kind of glitter, but let me show you the effect that it's going to give. This is what we want. But I always put a silver shadow down first because glitter sometimes can be patchy and I really want it to be opaque. So do you see the difference between this side and this side? It's just really like a glittery silver look. Now I'm going to take a defining brush like this and a black color. I'm just going to go in with this one that says Lash Line. It's not really black. It's like a really, really dark gray. I'm going to apply this along the lash line. And I always like to do this before I do a liquid liner because it gives depth and it allows me to really figure out the shape that I want before I go in with a strong strong liquid liner. I'm gonna run it along that tape and go out as far as y'all want. I'm gonna stop maybe about out here. Her line is pretty sharp. Do you all hear Lexi snoring right now? She's really getting a good nap in right now. I wish I could sleep like her. Take a liquid liner. I'm gonna use the Valentino one because it's a really great liquid liner, and I'm going to go over the top of that. So I'm just gonna stay really close to that lash line and just line along there, and then we're gonna bring it along this tape right here and connect it to the lash line. And if you all notice, I'm keeping that line pretty straight. I'm not doing this triangle thing because that's not the shape that she has. It's very just angular. And then what she does is comes all the way in to the tear duct. And what I like to do, you all, this is my trick if you are over 40 or if your eyes are a little bit tired and you don't want it to be really heavy, because sometimes when you put black liner all the way in, it can get very dark, very heavy, and close off your eyes. I switched to a brow ink because it's not as pigmented, it's a little bit more fine and delicate, and this is where I really get in with that inner tear duct and create that point. So it's a dark brown color, but it looks black from a distance, so you can't really tell that it's not black. It's just more delicate. She kind of accentuates down here as well and does a little bit. It's up to you if you all want to do that step or not. I'm kind of nervous to do it on my eyes specifically because I don't think it'll work for me as well as it does for her, but it's up to you if you want to put some on the lower lash line as well. Whew. Okay, let's peel off this tape. I'm dying to get these off for the last 15 minutes. Now, because it peeled off a little bit of makeup under here, which is fine because I always do this step anyways, I take a concealer brush, and I really like the Anissa one. You know my trick by now. I take my Dermablend Flawless Creator, and I use this as a concealer because it can go over powder. It's a really lightweight formula, and I'm just gonna put some on the back of my hand. I'm gonna take this brush and really work it into it because I want the lightest layer. This is super pigmented, you all, so a little bit goes a long way, but I literally do this to brighten up under here and clean everything up. Just add a little bit more coverage. It's almost like my final step to the skin is like this airbrush type finish. So it looks like Gigi has a little bit of black eyeliner in the waterline, but it's only on the inner corner and the halfway. So I'm gonna take a black liner and some black gel liner. I'm gonna dip it in, use this as a tool to kind of glide it in there. And I'm just gonna run this on the waterline like that. But do you guys see how I stopped halfway? I didn't come out here. Now, for me personally, it looks like there's just a tiniest bit of shadow smudged under here. So what I can do is take a pencil brush or just something really small and dome shaped like that. And we're gonna go in with that crease color that we used earlier. And let's smudge this just on the outer edge of that eye. We're gonna stop in halfway. So it's almost like the two meet. Like you have your shadow right here, and then it stops, and then it goes into the waterline with the black. You all know how to curl your lashes and apply your mascara by now. Now she definitely has stripped lashes on, so I'm gonna apply the Ardell 422s. I like these one a lot because they don't have a thick band at the bottom. Let me show you all. So what you're gonna do is measure them. You're gonna hold them up and make sure that they fit, which these ones do. So what I like to do is take the end of the lash on each side and I kind of wiggle it and bend it, or sometimes what I'll do is I'll wrap it around my pinky finger to really get that U shape so it bends around my natural lash line really easily. And then to apply the glue, I hold them at the center with some tweezers like that, and take your favorite lash glue. I like using a black one personally, so I know it's not gonna dry white. I hate having to cover it with more color. I'm just painting the glue on in a really thin layer. Kind of wave it around, let it sit for 30 seconds or so, sip your tea, or I wish coffee. Can blow on them a little bit, speed up that process. But let's go glue, let's dry a little, because you want it to be tacky, you don't want it to be super wet, it's gonna slip around. Okay, so I've got it still gripped in the center. I'm gonna come down and line it up in the center of my lash line like that. Take this edge, press it down, take the outer edge, press it down, and you can flip your tweezers around and kind of press it too. And then if you got a little glue, because I noticed I got a little glue up here, I don't know if you guys can see, just take a pointed Q-tip and clean that up before it dries. See how it came off on that Q-tip? So now it's super clean. Eyes are done, except for she has a little pearl underneath. If you guys want to do that, just get some glitter glue that is eye safe and just put a little drop, get one of those flat pearls from the craft store and put it on there. I'm gonna skip that step because for me, it's not practical to wear out. But if you guys wanna do that step, it's really easy. Okay, for the lips, now I'm gonna take a towel, wipe off that lip balm that we had on earlier. They're nice and hydrated, ready to go. I'm gonna do the Makeup Forever Artist Pencil in, what color is this? This script, you guys, is so small. I feel I'm not even that old and I'm struggling to read it. Wherever Walnut. It's a good match. Let me show you the color so you can see that it matches the lip color that she has on. It's just a really great kind of your lips but better color. So line the lips. For the lip color, I have a few options to show you. There is MAC Love You Back. Let me swatch this on the back of the hand so you all can see. That one's probably the closest match that I have. I also have Chanel number 402, which is a little bit more peachy, but it has more of a sheen to it. That one's pretty too. And then I have Dior number 100. That's kind of a more peachy one too, but I think I'm gonna go with the MAC one because that gives me that kind of rosy tone I'm looking for. So just apply this directly to the lips. It's a little bit dry, so I'm gonna take the Dior number 100 and put a little bit on top because it has that sheen to it, which I need personally. And it's just gonna warm up this color a little bit. So I'm gonna mix a couple colors. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so here it is zoomed out so you guys can see the final look. What do you think? Did I get it pretty close? Did I get it close? I hope you all had fun with this tutorial. Let me know in the comments what other celebrity tutorials you want to see. Do you want some more tutorials? If so, let me know what kind. But come back soon for another makeup video. We do makeup education, behind the scenes of the makeup industry on here, all of that plus perfume. Come back for more. So have a great week, you all, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.